Hi, I'm Kamali, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today.
This is my class, 2019. And my family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
A life-changing gesture of largesse for a generation of grad students in Atlanta. An Islamophobic Austrian politician is forced to quit in the wake of a scandal. This famous Turkish chef showed some students how to put together a proper iftar. And tech and teddies converge in China and Monday's animals doing stuff. It's top of our newsfeed. An American businessman called Robert F. Smith has made a pledge which could be life-changing for the class of 2019 at Morehouse College in Atlanta. He's going to pay off their student debts. Here's Adama with why this decision is worth so much more than just kindness.
How's this for a graduation present?
This is my class, 2019. And my family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
You heard right. Billionaire investor and philanthropist Robert F. Smith just paid off the student loans of the graduating class from Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. That's a whopping $40 million.
Morehouse is a pretty prestigious institution, and the tuition is pretty high. So my student debt was over $100K. So this gift honestly just was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because I have a single mother and we really didn't know how we were going to be able to repay these loans. So definitely it was the most amazing thing that could happen to me.
Morehouse is one of more than 100 historically black colleges and universities in the US. They're known as HBCUs, and they were founded to serve black students, mostly in the US South, where schools, like other public institutions, were racially segregated during the Jim Crow era. Their alumni include Martin Luther King Jr., Jesse Jackson, Spike Lee, and Oprah Winfrey. Overall, more than 44 million Americans have borrowed $1.5 trillion to attend colleges and universities. This makes it the second highest consumer debt behind mortgages. Student loan debt weighs much heavier on African American graduates, who have less wealth to draw upon compared to their white counterparts.
Mobility is really limited for African Americans for a variety of reasons, a lot of which are, the results of slavery. Unfair housing, unequal education, a myriad of different factors that have really led to the social circumstances that people are dealing with today. And so that, in combination with Mr. Smith and a lot of students I know who are coming from some of these similar backgrounds, disadvantaged backgrounds, and all over, for him to do this for us today is really making an impact on some of those families and people in those environments.
HBCUs have recently been in the spotlight. Beyoncé's 2018 Coachella drumline performance highlighted their importance for African American culture. Student loan debt is an important focus for Democratic candidates running for US president. Some are promising to make college more affordable, so other graduates won't have to hope for the help of a billionaire to get out from under their student loan debt.
All right, let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. Now, last night was the last episode of the final season of Game of Thrones. Now, Twitter is full of spoilers and commentary, which I'm proud to say I've managed to avoid thus far. Now, if you watched, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll look at the finale in detail on tomorrow's show. There was an international singing contest at the weekend. It's called Eurovision, but Israel, Russia, and Australia are in it. And it wasn't without controversy. Tel Aviv hosted, and the Icelandic entry staged a protest against the Israeli occupation of Palestine. That aside, the Netherlands won, Madonna performed badly, according to the internet, and the United Kingdom came dead last. Future Huawei devices won't offer popular Google apps like Gmail and Chrome. The parent company of Google, Alphabet, has made the announcement after Donald Trump blacklisted Huawei. The US is paranoid about the Chinese tech giant, saying it spies for Beijing. It also wants to reduce competition for American firms that make smartphones. It's classic protectionist policy in the digital age, and it's working. Now, Nike has been exposed for the profit-making multinational it is and not the cuddly company its marketing suggests.
They are not backing up what they are preaching. You know, they are making this very grand gesture when they make these ads that are moving people.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it is their slogan. But ultimately, behind closed doors, everything that is a dream for women in particular is something that they are basically stuffing you down and saying, actually, that's not really for you. This is for TV.
Well, it is time for a spin around the world for some other stories you need to know this Monday. Arnold the Terminator, aka Conan the Barbarian, aka the California Governor Schwarzenegger, was in South Africa for a sports event when some guy tried to flying kick him in the back while he was signing autographs. As you can see, the kick had very little effect apart from getting the guy who did it arrested. There it is, both feet. Arnie says he won't press charges, but he'll be back. This is the Indy full turban and it's made by Gucci. The internet sees it as the latest culturally appropriated, culturally insensitive item produced by the company. A US-based group called the Sikh Coalition has demanded an apology from the Italian fashion house. Now, at the time of writing, Gucci has not said sorry and is still selling the thing for $790. Al Jazeera has suspended 2 members of its Arabic AJ Plus digital team for making a video that questions the Holocaust and asking if Zionists benefited from it. The clip has been deleted and disowned by Al Jazeera, but not before it was viewed hundreds of thousands of times. And 3 boomers from Ireland were on a boys' holiday in New York when they had this photo taken. As they are of that generation, not one of them had a smartphone. Instead, they asked a passerby to snap it on her phone and said that they would find it someday. The woman turned to the internet, and you know what? The internet came through. Just an hour and 5,700 retweets later, the lads were tracked down. Wonderful. Now, Fraser Anning has been voted out of the Australian Senate. He infamously blamed immigration for the murder of at least 50 people at 2 mosques in New Zealand. The high point of his career is this video, him being egged by a teenager. There it is. Bye-bye, Mr. Anning. Now, Austrian politics are in a bit of a mess. The leader of the Islamophobic far right has been caught on video apparently promising state contracts to a wealthy Russian in return for favors. It's a classic newspaper sting operation by the looks of it. Take a look at this.
Aber nach dem gestrigen Video muss ich ganz ehrlich sagen, genug ist genug.
Aber dessen ungeachtet sage ich heute zu mir, aber auch zu Ihnen, ja, es war dumm, es war unverantwortlich und es war ein Fehler.
Ich glaube, dass das derzeit mit niemandem möglich ist. Darum habe ich heute dem Bundespräsidenten vorgeschlagen, vorgezogene Wahlen in Österreich durchzuführen, und zwar zum schnellstmöglichen Zeitpunkt.
Now, the war in Syria is spiraling into what could prove to be a bloody endgame. The regime in Russia are assaulting Idlib, the place where they pushed all the terror groups, opposition groups and civilians who wouldn't surrender to them over the past decade. Now they've decided they want control of the province, so they've started bombing hospitals.
Who is bombing all these hospitals? I can't say. But at least some of these attacks are clearly organised by people with access to sophisticated weapons, including a modern air force and so-called smart or precision weapons.
I'd like to know, since we know that Russia and Syria are the only countries that fly planes in the area, is the answer to Mr. Lowcock's questions the Russian and Syrian air forces?
Now we'll look at how some students here in Istanbul have been given a helping hand from social media and a famous chef in preparing iftar, a meal that they use to break fast during Ramadan.
Ailesinden uzak her öğrenci bir yokluk çekiyor. Biz bu yokluğunu biraz almak istiyoruz. Beraber büyük sofralar kurmak istiyoruz eski Ramazanlarda olduğu gibi. O ailesinin sofrasına yakın bir sofra kurup beraber paylaşıp o eski Ramazan kültürünü yaşatmaya çalışıyoruz.
Senin en çok sevdiğin yemekler?
Domates çorbası severim ben. Evet, ondan sonra İskender'i de severim. İskender'i de alıştım. Kuru fasulye de yerim.
Arkadaşların memleketlerine göre sorular geliyor. Nerelisin? Kayseriliyim. Kayseri'de nereye gitmek lazım? İstanbul'dan memnun musun? Bölümünden memnun musun? İşte benim kardeşim var, bu sene okula yazılacak, işte o bölümü tavsiye ediyor musun? Bu tip sorular da geliyor. Ya da böyle işte geldiğimiz yabancı ülkeden gelen arkadaşlar olduğu zaman da bazen turistik amaçlı, bazen de o kültürü tanımak amaçlı sorular soruyorlar.
It's always difficult for students, for foreign students to be abroad during the Ramadan. So as a student, we prefer to do iftar sometimes together. It's kind of bring families from Africa to here.
Good stuff, and thanks to Nasibe for going to film it. Now, our Animals Doing Stuff for Monday brings together two of our favourite things, pandas and facial recognition technology. Okay, we don't really like facial recognition tech, but we do like pandas. And Chinese scientists say they developed tools which will enable cameras to identify individual bears. The idea is if they know who all the pandas are, they'll be able to protect them better. Now, with only 2,000 of the black and white creatures left in the wild, they are critically endangered, but lots of fun. And that'll do you from the Newsfeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again tomorrow.